Hello, everyone. Welcome to Canadian music in the 80s, 90s, and more. The more part is definitely in play today because I'm interviewing one of my favorite all-time comedians, Jeremy Hotz. Thanks for joining me, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're more now. We're just throwing in at the end. You're not even mentioning, you know what I mean? It's that,
Yeah,
that's like
sure.
that's like don't go to Vegas. It's full of hookers and magicians. It's the same thing, you know?
Definitely, it is the same thing. You're in the middle of a big tour right now, which is what I
I
wanted to
am.
talk
I gotta
about.
do, yeah, I know you're right. I gotta go on tour still, even though I'm old, I still have to tour across the country because they won't let me retire. It's horrible. My fans, get off my back. God. You know what I mean? Why can't I lie on the couch and look at the Leafs lose again? Come on.
It seems to be a regular thing for a lot of people across the country. So,
I do it from California, though. I have to buy the satellite package, and I long distance. I watch them lose. You know.
well, and it's not even playoff time yet.
It's not playoff time. No, no, no,
Have to
it's
wait.
not. If they even make the playoffs, you know.
You have to wait
Uh,
till April for the real disappointment.
they won't last till April. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Wow. Wow.
I could bring out a bunch of Leaf jokes, but I won't bother because I'm sure you've heard them all. Uh,
Yeah, I have. I have.
but when you're doing a cross Canada tour, I'm looking at your dates. You really do a cross Canada
I
tour.
do the whole thing. Yeah,
You were
yeah.
doing coast to coast, but you're not coming to PEI, so you have to fix that
Well,
next
we
time.
had trouble with the venue. The
Oh,
venue. They
really?
tried, yeah, yeah, Charlottetown. We tried to get it, but I don't remember what it is. I don't do the negotiations or anything. But
Yeah.
until that's salted away, there's very few venues there, so we have to go to the one that's big enough, and there's so far no go.
Oh, okay. But you are coming to Halifax. I
Yeah,
see. Very
Halifax. What
soon.
happened? Yeah, Halifax we're coming to on Friday, and what happened there was I went to do the Halifax Festival. You
Hmm.
know the TV thing on the I don't know what it's called. The Halifax Comedy Festival, I think, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So I went to do that, and then there were people there from the casino, and they said, "Well, when you do your tour, can you do a stop at the casino and include it into your tour?" And I said, "Yes, that's
Yeah.
how."
Okay. And you're playing Moncton as well. That's actually not far from PEI, actually. That's
That's another comedy. That's a Moncton. That's the Moncton Comedy Festival, I think it's called,
yeah, you're right. It's two.
or
And
something like that. I maybe I got the name wrong, but whatever. I mean, this Canada does these comedy festivals, which is actually good. Considering that the Montreal one is closed, so now they got these other ones that are coming up. So that's all good. And I had one of the best sets I've had on TV, I think, at the Halifax one the last time. So I'm looking forward for that to come out. But it's a CBC show, so it might not be out until 20, you know,
yeah.
29.
Well, that's where I first heard of you, is the Just for Laughs TV shows.
That's how I came out. Yeah, I broke out there, which is I got really lucky, you know.
And how long have you been doing comedy now? Like, when did you start, like, kind of really getting into it?
I'd be yeah, I 40, almost 40 years
40 years. Wow.
in a row.
In
Can
a
I lie
row.
down?
In a row. No, I've always felt your approach really good. Because I'm quite a fan of stand-up comedy myself, and I find Canadian stand-up comics are definitely a different, better, better comedy than some of the Americans that came out.
Well, the Americans they it's a different thing. Canada, we didn't really have TV to go to, so we really did our act for live, to perform live and stuff
Right.
like that. And that was really good because I developed pretty much a theater act because of that. That's why that happened because there were no TV. I think I did the Ralph Ben Murgy show once. That's
That's
it.
a long time ago.
That's the TV thing that I did. Remember that one?
I do remember that. He had a show.
Okay.
Um, but I haven't heard from him in quite some time. He was a news
Well, the
guy for a
week
while.
that actually aired on the CBC, I was on one of those shows.
The week that
It wasn't on that long, as I
no,
recall,
it
right?
definitely
No,
wasn't on that long. You're
no,
right.
no, no.
But I mean, yeah, you got to get yourself out there somewhere, somehow, right? So,
He worked at the club and he gave me the shot and he's always been a friend. And to this day, I've always said, thanks, Ralph, for giving me my first TV shot because it was either him or Deanie Petty.
Did you do a lot of the Yuck Yucks route?
Yeah, that's how I started. I there were there when I started, there was just this is how it happened. There was a club in Toronto at the Yuck Yucks there on Bay Street, and I went down and did an amateur night once. And the owner, Mark Breslin, was standing at the back, and he walked up to me and he said, "Wow, you're really good. Did you want to do this professionally?" And I had nothing else going on, so I said, "Yeah, that was it." And then he said, well, we have just the one club, but we're opening up another one in 2 months in Ottawa. And that's when I said, I live in Ottawa because I did. And
Yeah,
then he opened up a club there. So I just walked to the club and I had a job all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
that's great. And of course, they've got clubs all over the country too. So I guess that would
Yeah.
help out. That would work
Yeah.
out quite a bit.
And then they sent me everywhere, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm reading your background. There's stuff I didn't know. Like I knew you were in Speed too.
Oh, yeah. Geez.
I
Yeah,
knew
I was.
I knew that much too, but I didn't realize got some. You were voted best performer by the Globe and Mail in 2007 and 8.
Yeah, the Globe is, yeah, they were, they were nice to me. Remember newspapers?
They still read them here in PEI. So
Yeah. I'll fax you one later.
yeah, fax me. Wow. So how many
Um,
times have you done the trip across Canada? You've probably
10.
done
This is 10. This is 10. Yeah, 10
10
times.
times. Wow. And
10
you must
times.
have you been to every small town you can think of across
No,
Canada?
I don't do a lot of the small ones, but the major cities. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. Sometimes I'll put in one like a Guelph or something. I'm playing there and stuff because they've
Yeah.
been really good to me. But most of the time it's the major cities.
But I mean, you've done some writing. You did some writing on the Jon Stewart show.
I wrote for the Stewart Show, the Paramount Stewart Show for a season and a half, and then it was canceled. So then, right then and there, the Montreal Comedy Festival came up, and then I went there, and then I moved to Los Angeles. That's what happened.
Yeah, you made quite a name for yourself doing that as well. So, but I mean, I've always met, like I said, I remember first seeing you on Just for Laughs, the television show, and as I discovered a lot of great Canadian comedians through that, because they really did give Canadian comedians a leg up as well as the big ones from America.
They did at the beginning. They did give guys like a chance because they were really trying to concentrate on the Canadians to build a roster for Just for Laughs is what they were trying to do, which they did do. You
No,
know.
they did. I mean, some of my favorite comedians are Canadian. Like I was a big fan of Derek Edwards and Brent Butt, and
Yeah, yeah.
you would
They're
you.
both really good comics, both those guys. And Brent went on and did like TV, the Corner Gas thing. And Derek's a really good comic. I've seen him quite a few times. And Mike Wilmot's another one. He's
Yep.
Canadian as well. You're going to like the Canadians more because you're Canadian. I really believe that's what it is. It's the same sensibility. It is. You know.
Um, and the Cash Cab guy, he's a good stand-up comic too. The guy who did the
Oh,
Canadian version.
I don't know
Uh,
who he is, actually. I
Adam
don't know.
Groh. Adam Groh, I believe is his name.
Okay. I don't know that guy. I was already gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he does the Canadian version of the Cash Cab, and he's actually on radio in Toronto now. Sometimes he does the morning show,
Oh,
um,
God.
which is, well, hey, you got to make a living, right? So,
Yeah, but still, and then getting up that early and he's a comic. Are you kidding me? You got to be up at 5. Who would do that? I'd die.
so do you
Can't be.
like touring across Canada?
I do because it's my show. You know what I mean? And it's on
Yeah,
at night.
it's the Tres Miserables tour, as you're calling it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I see you. You took French in high school and didn't pay attention to it either. There it
No,
is.
no, no, never had the accent down, did I? No,
Not at all.
no.
No, no,
Well,
no.
I think you did do a bit about taking French in Canada growing up, how you took it for 4 years and never really learned it.
That's right. That's right.
I remember a
I
bit you did.
tried French class. I did
Yeah,
do that.
I do remember that bit because it made me laugh because I was like, yeah, that's all I know. I
Well,
took
they say it's a bilingual country, but
it's it's not really.
no, no. no. We hum along to the bilingual version of the Canadian national anthem. I don't know the French words, and neither do you.
No, I don't. But
I
they
don't know
sing it
the
at,
English words either anymore since they changed them.
they always sing a line at French in every hockey game though. So so because I see way too many hockey games. I work at hockey games sometimes.
Do
So
you really?
yeah, the Quebec Major Junior League.
Oh, that's great. You see the guys coming up that are going to play in the NHL, right?
Yeah,
The
and
best of the juniors, right?
I worked there for the OHL for over 20 years too. So I saw
Oh,
a lot
gee,
of players come up. So um
really?
I've probably seen half the guys you're watching in that Leaf game right now play in junior hockey.
Yeah, you know what teams they were on, right?
Yep, I saw Mitch Marner play in the London Knights, and I saw Connor McDavid play in the OHL.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I always found it interesting to see them come up, and sometimes you can really tell who's going to go. You know,
Do
who's
those guys dominate in the juniors as well, and then they come up to the NHL and do the same thing? You've seen that happen, eh?
Oh, McDavid's the best example right now that I can think of because he was
Right.
dominant in junior, and you just
Right.
knew he was going to make it in the NHL. And he obviously has, and is still. I think he's the best player out there.
Well, they say that he is. They say he's the best player. He controls the game when he's on the ice, like Gretzky used to. Remember?
He's right up there. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
he's he's the best player. I think he's
Okay,
the
answer
best.
me this then. You know Ovechkin with the goals and getting more goals than Gretzky? I don't think he's the better player there at all just because he got more goals. He did it in friggin' 79 more years it took him. It doesn't count, man. Seriously. Gretzky did it in a concise period of time. I think it means more. Less shots.
It was a different era of hockey for sure. Definitely. You
Yeah.
can't, it's hard to really compare the two because it was a totally different game back then.
Well, the
Um,
goalies' pads were really thin, so it was easier to score. Remember? What they wear now is a couple of bulldozers. It should be banned. It's ridiculous. Come
that's
on.
true.
How wide are your legs, man? Come on.
And every goalie seems to be at least 6 foot tall now. So
Oh, that the simple reason for that is they find the biggest, fattest guy to cover most of the net. That's all that is.
that's cheating, right?
It's true, but if you took Andre the Giant, if he was still alive, and you just shoved him in the net, that would be a perfect goalie because there's
Yeah.
no room to score.
But it'd be a true test of shot accuracy because there'd not be any holes to find up there with a guy like him in goals.
We can get any goals.
No, that's for
NHL.
sure.
That's right. That would kill the NHL. Really fat goalies.
Yeah. So it's good to see you're a hockey fan. So you still are very much Canadian, even though you do live in the US now.
I do, but I've been there for years and years. But I still, you can't take the game out of it. I'm still a Leafs fan. I still watch hockey. It's still my favorite sport. You know,
Oh, for sure. So it
I don't
definitely,
even watch basketball. Do you?
um, no, not
I
really.
don't watch it either. It's not. You can't touch the guy, and then they do all game, and they never get a penalty. So I've stopped watching it. I don't like that.
But
You
I
know,
still like the CFL.
I like the CFL.
I
I
mean, at
do.
least the Argos can still win once in a while.
They do win once in a while. I like the Argos. They're the only team that I follow that actually wins championships, and that's because there's only 9 teams in the league. Right?
Actually, can I depress you as a Leaf fan even more than you already could be?
Okay.
A friend of mine that I used to work with looks after the Stanley Cup. He's one of the White Glove guys.
Yeah.
He's one of the 6 guys that do it. I don't know if you know about the bands on the cup. Every time the bottom one gets filled, the one on the top comes off, and they put
Oh,
it in the
right.
vault. Yeah,
What's the one on the top? Are those the oldest guys or
yeah,
no?
yeah. It's
They
the
are.
oldest team. So yeah, when the bottom one gets
Oh,
filled, they take the one on the top off, and they put it in the vault at the Hall of Fame. But the
okay.
last one that came off, there's no Gordie Howe or Rocket Richard on the cup anymore. Like
That's
on
really
physically.
sad. That's
Well,
really sad.
this is going to make it even sadder. There's 8 more spots on the bottom now.
Yeah.
The next one that comes off is the last Leaf Cup.
Oh, that stinks. Well, I'm going to make you really sad now. Okay. Ottawa, you know what they did?
No.
Ottawa is banning road hockey from the streets. You're not allowed to play road hockey. That's our heritage. How dare you take that away?
I know
How
it's terrible.
dare you take
That's
that away?
terrible.
That is really terrible.
I heard something
That
about that in Mississauga, where I grew up, actually. A few years
see,
ago, they did that.
see, because they don't want kids playing in the street, which is precisely what our parents were trying to do. Kill us. They would give us sticks and go play in the street. Maybe a car will come by. Yes, that's what they were trying to do.
Oh yeah, my dad used to tell me, go play in the traffic.
That's it. And we played road hockey.
Yeah, come in when the lights turn on outside.
That's it. When
Yeah,
you couldn't see anymore. That's
that's right.
right.
That's
That's
right.
all gone, man. They're going to take that away from us.
Yeah.
First the snow went, and now this. You know?
Yeah, you definitely haven't forgot Canada, that's for sure.
No.
No, and you can't. So, when the tour ends, what are you going back to?
When the tour ends,
Yeah,
oh,
what are you
not
going?
until that's gee, that's not until like middle of March or something, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I try not because I have the anxiety disorder. I try not to think that far ahead, you
Oh,
know.
you haven't got any projects on the go or that
Oh,
you're
tons. I got tons of stuff that I have to do. I'm shooting a short movie that I have to do, but they're working around me finishing this tour. So as soon as that's done, I'm going to I have to do that in Vancouver. I got
Mhm.
tons of stuff that I have to do. I've got more stuff to do, more stand up as well, booked in the States after this that I have to do, a gig in Vegas and stuff. So I got tons going on. But I will not think about it ahead of time because it gives me anxiety. That's all I
I
do. Not to
I
think.
bet.
Yeah.
Well, you should be used to that if you're a Leaf fan. Lots of anxiety there.
You know, I don't have anxiety for the Leafs anymore because I've given up. There's nothing to be anxious about. They're not going to get close. Why be anxious?
Kind of like the Bills fans, I guess, after last Sunday. Oh no, I've opened up another can of worms here.
Well, enough with Kansas City already. I agree. I agree. How many times they got to win it? Who do they think they are? The Oilers? Get out of here. Come on. Get out of here. Nobody wants three in a row. Shut up.
Is
Shut up.
Buffalo
Play
is
the
Buff
season if you're going to win it three times in a row. Get out of here.
is Buffalo as cursed as the Leafs?
Four Super Bowls in a row and they lost them all.
Yeah,
That's pretty cursed. That's
yeah.
that's bad, and they've never won it. So yeah, they're worse off, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. And OJ. So there's that too. I mean, the
There's
Leafs just had Eddie Shack.
I don't know if you grew up in the GTA like I did, Buffalo was such a big part of your childhood because you had six stations on TV and three of them were out of Buffalo. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
yeah,
true.
Buffalo culture was ingrained in my life growing up in the
Except my
GTA.
team was the Minnesota Vikings because that's the feed we got in Ottawa.
Really?
Yeah, we
Minnesota.
got Minnesota when I was a kid. So that's I go for those purple guys who also have never won the Super Bowl. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But were you in Ottawa when the Rough Riders were the team?
Yes, the Ottawa Rough Riders. Russ Jackson
Yep.
was the quarterback, and then I did their years later. I did their trophy thing where they give the trophies out to the players. I hosted the thing.
Oh, the CFL awards.
The CFL Awards. I hosted the thing, and then I met Russ Jackson and his wife, and I told him I know exactly who you are because I watched you when I was a kid. And him and his wife were thrilled that I did that. You know what I mean? They were thrilled.
The days when Canada had two teams with the name Rough Riders.
That Saskatchewan
Yeah.
and Ottawa, but one of them was one word, Rough Riders, and the other one was a split into two words.
Yeah, so you can tell the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they did have two teams, and now Ottawa's called the Red Blacks,
That's right. Yep.
which is two colors stuck together.
Yeah.
I- what
Oh,
is that even? I guess they were really worried about offending somebody because the Edmonton Eskimos had to change their name. You can't call them that anymore because they complained. All the Eskimo people complained, and they changed the name to the Elks,
yep.
and now all the Elks are complaining.
Oh, you don't have to look too far for material when you're in Canada, can you?
No, you really don't.
You
It
re-
just kind of comes right there.
And you've always done that in your material over the years, haven't you? You've always,
It's what goes into my head comes out of my mouth. You know what I mean? You've seen me. I make up a lot of it. I make it up a lot of it right there. I don't,
it's true.
I hear a lot of it for the first time too. So, because it's the only way to keep it fresh for me, right? And I can't remember the old stuff that well.
Do you have to change it up in the States? Do they get most of
Oh
the
yeah,
stuff as well?
yeah. I change it up. It's a different show that I do there.
Yeah,
I can juggle a few acts in my head. It's not hard.
but it's a
It's all
no.
I do. I don't have another job. I just have to remember jokes. That's, you
But
know.
you bring out all the CanCon when you're up here.
Yes, I
Yeah,
gotta, man, because I can't do it in the States, and I know when it's really funny, so I can't wait to come to Canada. Go, hey, listen to this. It's true. It's true. It's true. I love the Canadian ones.
that's awesome. It's great to see that you're still coming up here to Canada and doing the tours. And
I
not
I,
for
I prefer the crowds because I grew up in Canada, so I have the same. Well, I think the same. So yeah, yeah. I don't have to spell it out. They get it right away, right away, right away.
yeah.
You
No,
know.
it must be great. Is there regional stuff that you come up with? Like if you're in Winnipeg, is there some material
Yeah,
you use there that you
yeah.
don't use in Vancouver?
Of course I do. Of
Yeah.
course I do. Yes, yes. There's stuff that I'll walk around the city and just look and then go, I'm going to talk about that tonight. And then yes, yes, I do.
I'll
I
bet
do
the
that.
weather has a lot in that too. So
Well, that's Canada, right? You mentioned the weather and everybody immediately pays attention. Immediately. I don't know what the hell that is.
yeah.
They love the weather. They like to hear about the weather. They like to hear what's going to happen tomorrow. They like to go
Yeah.
like this. It's going to be how cold? That's what Canadians like to do. They like doing that.
I heard a good one the other day. It was so cold that my plumber pulled his pants up.
You always see their crack. It's true.
Yeah, I thought that one
True.
was pretty
True.
good. And the one my dad used to say, if you don't like the weather now in Canada, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, it'll get worse.
You might get something you like, you might get something you don't like. So,
Yeah, exactly. You
so
won't.
anyway, thanks for taking time out of your tour to join me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck with the rest of the tour. I'm sure it's going to go off great. Hopefully you can get to Charlottetown next time.
Yeah, hopefully. But if you go to a minor league or a junior hockey game the next time I'm in town, I will go with you to see that. I will go with you because I used to
Okay.
watch when I was a kid. My dad took me to the Ottawa 67s. Remember
Yep.
that? I don't know if they're still in the thing, but he took me and I watched them, and one or two of those guys ended up playing on the Leafs. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, their coach right now, Dave Cameron, is actually from Prince Edward Island.
Oh, really?
Dave Cameron. Yep. Their current coach. Yep.
So the
So
67s are still, and they're still called the 67s?
they are. They
Wow.
play in that really wonderful hockey rink built underneath the grandstand of the football stadium.
In Nepean, right? Yeah, that place,
No,
right?
they're right in Ottawa.
Oh, Lansdowne Park. What do they call it now?
TD something.
Oh, oh, how sad. Really?
Something to do with a bank. You shouldn't be surprised by that.
TD something.
Yeah.
Ah,
But yeah, the Ottawa 67s rink was built underneath the grandstand of the football stadium.
where
It
the Ottawa Red Blacks
play, yeah.
play. Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the Senators play out in Canada, I believe.
You know
So
what that rink, because it's around farms, smells like manure. It
yeah,
does. Who wants to sit in the rink when the team is bad and smell shit? That's what I'd like to know.
that's a good point. They built it in the middle of nowhere, so
He did near the farms. That's
yeah.
what they.
But that's Canada for you. So
No, that's Ottawa for you. That's the government. Good
that's
thinking,
Ottawa for
boys.
you. Well, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you doing this. Have a good rest of your tour, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Is that a puck or is that cow shit they're playing with?
You just don't know. Could be either. Thanks, Jeremy. Have a good rest of your tour.
See ya.